Hello, everyone. Hello. It's Colleen. Hello, how are you? I'm going to give this a couple minutes. Hopefully some people jump on. So today I wanted to get into it, into the earnings and the potential of this business. Because when I started this business, I'll give you a little brief history of me. When I started this business, I was working a six-figure job. I was making very, very good money. However, two things. One, it was a project. It was a project that had an end date. So I knew my job had an end date, right? And I didn't know what else was going to happen after that job, right? I was lucky enough to get that job. And then once that ended, I didn't know what was going to happen after that. Secondly, I was working away. I was working out of province. So I live in the province of New Brunswick, which is on the east coast of Canada. Hello, whoever's watching. And I was working in Newfoundland, which is a plane ride away. And I was working what's called a rotation. So 8 weeks I'd be at work, and then 1 week I'd get home. So I worked there for 3 years. That's no life. You can't build a life. I had no friends there. I was by myself. My husband was at home here in New Brunswick. And it got really, really hard at the end of it to come home for a week, spend that fun time with the family, and then having to go back to work, essentially. Hey, Jennifer. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Vicky. So it got really, really hard. And every time I did get to come home, it was always, Dave wanted me to stay home. I wish you could stay home. I wish I could be home too. I wish we could be here because, we weren't growing a garden or having barbecues, having friends over or traveling or doing any of that because I was away in a different province working. We were leading separate lives essentially, right? So there's no celebrating birthdays or holidays or any of that stuff together, right? The stuff that other people take for granted, we couldn't do any of that. We were stuck, even though I was earning, decent money. My home province of New Brunswick, it's very hard to find a good paying job. And I knew that I was not going to find a six-figure job here in New Brunswick on, the little education that I had. I was lucky enough to get the job that I did have, right? So I knew that there was going to have to be some sacrifices there. And I knew that job was a project job and it had an end date. At the time, I was working out at the gym. I had a personal trainer. I was working with a personal trainer. I was working at the gym 5-6 days a week. So essentially, when my coach contacted me, I thought I had my shit together. I was like, I've got this. I don't need whatever you're selling. I don't need it, right? Just like everybody else when their coach approaches them, right? I was the same way. I was like, I thought I knew it all. I had it under control. Who are you to talk to me? I'm working with a personal trainer. Leave me alone kind of thing, right? But I was kidding myself because I was kidding myself because I thought I was eating right. I was eating chicken and rice and salads Monday through Friday. But then come Friday night, I'd be ordering a Domino's 14-inch pizza and eating it all to myself and probably drinking 2 bottles of wine over the weekend. I'd probably on Saturday when I went for groceries, I'd probably go to McDonald's for lunch. Not probably, this is what I was doing. I'd go to McDonald's for lunch. And when I went to McDonald's, I wasn't just ordering, a Big Mac meal. I was ordering a quarter pounder meal with 10 nuggets on the side and upsizing my fries to myself. And then on Monday, when I'd go to the gym and get weighed in, I'd be like, oh, well, I don't know why I haven't lost weight. I've been at the gym 5 days this week, right? Literally, I was just kidding. I was delusional. I was just kidding myself, right? I don't know. So in the 2 years that I had been going to the gym 5 days a week, working with a personal trainer, I had lost 10 pounds. Because you know what? When you're at the gym, here's the thing. Even when you work with a personal trainer is not allowed to give you meal plans. They can give you general advice, but they can't give you meal plans. And if I wasn't there, nobody was checking in on me. If I didn't show up to the gym, nobody was sending me a message or calling me up saying, hey, get your ass to the gym. Where are you? Right? What's going on? Nobody was doing that. So when I was approached by my coach, I quite honestly blocked her. She sent me a friend request 3 times and I blocked her 3 times. She tried phoning me and I wouldn't answer the phone call. After that initial conversation with her, because when she first approached me, she approached me about a challenge group and being a part of a challenge group. And I was like, I don't need that, because I was going to the gym. I was working with a personal trainer, and I was like, I don't need your challenge group. I don't need it. Right. So over the course of 3 months, she reached out to me again, and we connected. She had just got a new puppy, and I have 3 dogs, and we connected over that, and we were talking, and we just became friends, basically, which is essentially our job. We became friends. And then she said to me, listen, I know you're not interested in a challenge group, which is totally okay, but maybe you're interested in the business opportunity side of it. And I was like, what business opportunity side of it? I didn't know there was one. And because I had been in our conversations, I had said to her, I was considering becoming a personal trainer because I wanted to help other people like me, right? And she said, listen, there's an easier way, a more affordable way to do this, and not be tied down with a work schedule and low pay, because personal trainers get paid shit. I know, because I am one now, but I became a coach first. So I was like, okay, she's like, I have a sneak peek. Why don't you come into the sneak peek and see what it's all about? She was a dental hygienist at the time, right? She's a full-time coach now, but at the time, back in 2015, she was a dental hygienist. So I was like, okay, cool. I'll go check it out. It was a 3-day sneak peek, and by day 2, as soon as they told me about the income and the potential of this business, I sent her a message and was like, sign me up, I'm in. Because what I saw in it wasn't necessarily the money. I mean, let's be honest, we all want to earn an income for our time, right? If you're going to spend time doing something and building something, I mean, you want to earn an income from it, right? But for me, when I first started, it wasn't necessarily I wanted to be like, ooh, I want to roll in it, I want to make some money, because I was making 6 figures already. I didn't need the money. I didn't. But I needed the friendships. I needed the support. I needed the accountability. I needed the positive community, because I didn't have that. I was literally going to work 12-hour days and coming home to a little 1-bedroom apartment by myself in a town I knew nobody, and I was depressed, which is why I was eating so much all the time. So I needed everything else the coaching brought with it. I needed that support. I needed that direction. I needed to feel like I was a part of something. I was a part of a community. I was a part of a mission to help more people lead healthy and fulfilling lives. I wanted to be a part of that because it was such a positive thing for me, coming from a background of having a lot of negativity in my life. Like every time I was like, oh my God, I want to go do this, I'd have someone like squash that idea right away, right? Like shoot me down, like I couldn't do it. Why would you want to do that? Don't waste your money. Don't waste your time, blah, 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 right? So when I signed up I was like, okay, sign me up. Because I knew if I signed up to be a coach, I even called Dave, my other half, and was like, hey, I just signed up to be a coach. And he was like, what the hell does that mean? And I'm like, I don't really know, but I know it's going to make me do it. Because I had been talking about getting healthy and fit for 2 years. I was coming up on my 40th birthday, and I'm like, by fuck am I going into my 40th feeling like shit, right? Like I want to go into my 40s rocking what I got, right? So I was like, I know that if I sign up as a coach and I start talking about it and talking to people about it, then that means people are going to start asking me about it. How are you doing? How's it going? How are your, everything going and stuff like that. Then I knew that it would hold me accountable, that I'd have to show up. I'd have to start getting results. So that was me. That was why I started, is because I needed the ultimate accountability. But I also saw the potential that if I worked this, because I was sitting there and I was watching this and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, so if you're telling me that if I work an hour a day on my business, that it could potentially grow to be a 6-figure business in the next, 5 or 6 years, and I could eventually leave my day job. And she was like, yeah, because she was showing me her actual paychecks, right? What I'm going to show you. She was showing me her actual paycheck. So I actually could see it in black and white for myself that she wasn't bullshitting me, right? And I was like, okay, I'm in. Because, like I said, I'm a 2-time university dropout. I was a waitress for 15 years. I'm not about to go back to school in my 40s. I'm not going to go back to school. I tried to go back to school once and I couldn't even fucking last the day. I just don't want to be bothered with it. I've busted my ass all my life, and now I feel as though I want to have some fun with my life, and coaching brings some fun into my life. I'm meeting a ton of new people. I'm getting to travel, and I'm earning income from it, which is just icing on the cake because it's just been so much fun. They always say when you find something you love, like if you follow your love, follow your passions, it'll never feel like you're working, right? And that has been what it has been like for me. I've just fell in love with this, and I'm just kept going. It's just kept going. And when I started, honest to God, when I started, I had less than 200 friends on Facebook. I never ever posted on Facebook. I had no idea what I was doing. Doing a live video like this scared the shit out of me. I didn't know how to use, really what to do on Facebook. I didn't know how to Google, YouTube, posting pictures. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I had no idea. But we have a training for that. We have trainings for everything. We show you exactly what to do. So the big thing is that, like Bree said in her video, our coaching breaks down to three main things. Like three main things. We work out, we post about it and talk about it, and we invite others to join us. That's it. That's all we do. It really is. It's that simple. It's everybody else that complicates it, but it's that simple. We do our workout, drink our Shakeology. We're a product of the product. We're proving that the programs work. We're sharing that with other people, posting about it on what other social media you want to post it on, or you're talking to people in person, and then you're saying, hey, why don't you come do this with me? It's been a ton of fun. Why don't you come do this with me? That's it. That's all we do. And we earn an income from it. And I'm going to show you that. So you have to bear with me because I have a bit of whatchamacallit on my computer, a virus. And it's just not playing nice with me right now. So I'm going to reload this because it kicked me out. I had everything all ready for you, which always happens. This is real life. I had everything all ready for you, and then it just literally, my internet kicked me out of everything. So now I got to go back in. All right, real life. This is what happens. I'm also, like I said this morning, if you watch the video, I am on my lunch break right now. So I came home so I could do this with you. It's not something I do every day, run home and do calls and things like this. I do not. But I do try and spend my 1 hour that I have for lunch, which is my pocket of time. While I eat my lunch, I check in with the group, I talk to people, whatever I'm doing, right? So, because for me, that's a good use of time. But again, I also mentioned that in my video earlier today. Whenever I have new coaches start, I always show them a time blocking schedule so that you can schedule out your real life, and then whatever pockets of time you have left over, that's where you could fit coaching in. And it's really good to see that because a lot of us are always like, I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time. Like that's the number one thing people would say to hold them back. I don't have time. But guess what? You and I have the same 24 hours in the day. Same 24 hours. I'm not saying your schedule is more full than mine or mine's more full than yours. But I'm saying is if you, a little bit of time management, a little bit of scheduling and knowing what's going on in your week. And if you can write it down so you can see it, then you can see where you have time, right? It takes a little bit of finesse, but it's all something that you learn. So I'm going to show you a couple of things. I'm going to show you some of my paychecks from when I first started as a coach, very, very first started back in April 2015. And I'm going to show you my year to date where I'm at right now, okay? Some paychecks from when I started and some paychecks from now. So when you first get started, there's going to be 3 ways that we get paid. The 3 main ways. There's 10 different ways we get paid, but there's 3 main ways you get paid. And number 1 is commissions, all right? We earn 25% on anything. So if anytime anyone gets set up with a program, we instantly earn 25% on that, or any product that they want to buy, whether it's Recover, Energize, you want to buy a mat or clothes or whatever it is, right? So second to that is building your team. So as you build your team, that's what's going to help build you residual income. And residual income is the income that comes in every single month
without having to do anything, right? So let's say for right now, I'll show you where I'm at now, and then I'll tell you what I mean by residual income if I walked away from things right now. As well as you start advancing in your business, you're going to get to the next certain steps in your business. And there's certain key steps in your business where you start being put into a bonus pool. So you would be a part of the overall bonus pool. So 1% of all of Beachbody's earnings, the entire company's earnings, you get put into a pool for 1% of those earnings. And that gets paid out 4 times a year. And I've seen those bonus pool checks, and they're unbelievable. And that's just from putting in the work now, right? When you first start, right? Like I said, I work my business part-time, and I'm working any given week, 7 to 10 hours a week. Some days it's less, like some days I don't spend any time on my business, and some days I work more on my business. Some days it's an hour, some days it's 30 minutes, some days I work 2 hours. It just depends on my week, how busy I am, where I am, what appointments I have, and what we're doing, right? So your schedule is going to vary. Your schedule is going to vary based on life, right? And that's the best part. So let me turn this around, because this is a video that's probably going to go longer than 10 minutes. I apologize, but it's kind of important stuff. Okay, so let's turn this around. So hopefully you can see this. So here is my commissions. This is for, as you can see, April 4th, 2015. I signed up on April 1st, 2015, and we get paid every week. So we get paid every Thursday. And I will say this, though, before we start looking at this pay. There's always a disclaimer that Beachbody corporate, always the lawyers want us to tell people. Our pay is based directly on our work ethic. So if I don't help anybody this week, then I don't get paid, right? If I don't put in the effort, in the action, and help people, start a program of their own, then I'm not going to get paid. So the more people I help, that's reflected in my paycheck. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So here it is, April 1st, 2015. As you can see right here, put this up, total commissions, 0. I got nothing. I got all my pays in here. April 15th. So April 15th, 2015, come down to my pay. This is the American side, and this is the Canadian side. So I got paid $55 Canadian that week. Woohoo! $55 Canadian. That's not bad, right? So then I go back up to April 22nd. My total commissions for April 22nd was $118.23. So $118 I made that week. And then April 29th, so the end of April, I made $134. So the thing about our business is everything gets added onto each other. So everything that I do this month in February right now, all the people I helped this month in February, gets all added into everybody I helped last month, everybody I helped the year before. It all keeps getting added up. So our pays are compounded over time. So the big thing about coaching is you may not see a huge return up front right off the bat, right? But as you get going slowly and slowly, and as you start building, your pay is going to build and build and build on top of each other to eventually you start having a pretty decent income. So let's go back. I'll fast forward to so let's go into the end of the year. So if you go into December of 2015, so let's see, in December of 2015, I had a paycheck of $258.53. This is a week. Just the end of December 2015, I had a paycheck of $236. So that's almost $500 in December 16th. I had $86. So that just goes to show that in that week, I didn't really have much. See someone return something, there's a negative there. December 23rd, I had a paycheck of $182. And December 30th, 2015, I had a check of $66. So this is why I show this, because I want you to see the reality of this. Not every week's going to be a stellar week. Some weeks going to go up, some weeks going to go down, just like any other paycheck, right? And again, but it all reflects your efforts. So let's fast forward to now. I'm going to fast forward to now. So let's just this month. Okay, so let's go February. Let's turn it around. Here's February 7th, 2018. So the start of February. I got a paycheck for $187.49. Okay. February 24th, I got a paycheck for $196.47. And then February 21st, which is just last week, I got a paycheck for $318.69. Now, here's what I want to show you. So as it shows you on here, it's going to show you what your retail commission is, which is, that is anything that I sold to a customer. So that's just making straight commission. And if you can see, this is in my currency, Canadian dollars. I made $40 in just off customers buying something, buying products. But here's my team bonus. Team bonus is based off of my team and what my team is producing. And if you go over and look at that, I made $207 from my team. So that means as you get started, when you first get started, you're going to probably have seen more up here in commissions, because when you first get started, it's just going to be you. But as you develop a team, your team is going to start taking over. So the money that I make now is mostly from my team. This one here is called subscriptions. So we have what's called our on-demand, our on-demand streaming, where you can get yearly memberships or 3-month memberships, whatever it is. So every time someone's membership comes up, I make a commission off of that. So that's that. So that's what makes up my paycheck right now, right? It's mostly from my team. Okay. So here's the big one that I want to show you. Let's see. This is my back office. I'm going to show you my year to date over here. So here's my year to date. Total lifetime earnings, $38,000. Okay. This is my total year-to-date earnings just from January to February right now is $2,400. Okay, so I made $2,400. But I've made $38,000 total in my earnings. So the question is that I ask a lot of people is, what would that do for your family? Earning, if you could earn an extra $100, $200, $300 a week, how could that change things for your family? Would you be willing to put in an hour a day knowing you could eventually get those numbers, right? So right now I'm averaging about $1,000 a month, just over $1,000. I think in January I had made just over $1,100 a month. So for me to be earning that, I only work, like I said, I only work 7 to 10 hours a week. So if I worked more hours, I could make more money. Do you see how that works? My paycheck is a direct reflection of how much time I put into my business. So if I was to put more hours in my business, like let's say if I was to be working my business full time, I could probably triple my numbers, but I'm only putting in 7 to 10 hours. So if I was to ask you the question, if you were to work 1 hour a day, if you could earn, let me just put it this way. The question would be, if you could earn an extra $500 a month, would that be worth an hour a day? An extra $300 to $500 a month to help your family out, right? Or help yourself out of debt, student loan debt, mortgage, credit card, helping to get ahead on your bills, right? Like maybe it pays your car payment, maybe it pays for your groceries a month. Like how would that free some money up for you? I had someone last month I was talking to, and she said that, she's a stay-at-home mom, her husband works away, and her husband got laid off for a couple of months, right? And they, all of a sudden now they were at one income and now all of a sudden they have no income. If you had something like this on the side, how would that help? Right? Because the thing is that you're going to work out anyway. You're going to work out and you're going to eat anyway. So why not learn how to share that and earn a little extra income? Listen, some of you, it may not be right, and that's okay. For some of you, you might just want to do this part-time. Maybe you only want to help a couple people or help your friends, or maybe it's just that you want to get the discount and that if someone comes to you and wants some help, then you can help them. And that's totally cool. But there's other people that start this and they start this thinking of, oh, I just want to get a discount and I just want to, work away at myself. And then next thing you know, they got like a full-fledged growing business, right? And that's how it happened for me. I didn't know what the hell I was doing when I started. My coach said to me, listen, just go help 3 people. It'll help pay for your Shakeology and it'll start you going. And I was like, okay, I can help 3 people. That's easy, right? And I've been helping 3 people every single month since April of 2015. I am now considered a Success Club legend. I've helped over 3 people, not just 3, but over 3 people every single month for the last, 28 months or something like that, right? Because that's just what I do, right? I've never had to pay for Shakeology. I paid for Shakeology the day I signed up, and I haven't paid for it since. My husband gets Shakeology. I don't have to pay for that because I've just made it a point to be like, okay, I need to help 3 people, so I'm just going to go help 3 people. And that's it. And that's all I've been doing. It really is that easy. I work out. I talk about it and share about it on my social media, on Facebook and Instagram. And I invite people to come do this with me. That's it. That's all I do. There's nothing that I'm doing. There's nothing that I'm doing that anybody else couldn't do, really. Because I learned everything I do. I have people that always say to me, oh, Colleen, I couldn't do what you do. But you know what? I couldn't do what I did either 3 years ago. I learned everything that I know. Everything I know now, I learned. And we have a training to help you learn all of that as well. So if you have any questions at all, please feel free to ask. I am a total open book. I'll tell you everything I know. Like I said, I like to make sure people have, all the facts. It's been a hell of a lot of fun. I feel as though this could be totally life-changing for a lot of people, and not in the sense of a job, but more in the sense of the community, the positivity that everyone has, the helpfulness that everyone has. I just want you to succeed, because my success is your success and your success is mine. So the more successful you are, the more successful I am. We're all here. We're all tied together. Everybody is tied together. We're here. I want to see you succeed, right? So I'm going to do everything I can to help you succeed. So I hope that helped. I hope that showed you that what's possible. Like I said, I could be making more money at this. Sure, I could. But I work full time, and all I have is time. That 7 to 10 hours, that's what I have time for. So that's what works for me. Maybe some of you have more time you can spend on your business, so you might end up making more than me. Great, right? Maybe you have less time than me. Maybe you could only, maybe you got 5 or 7 hours you can spend a week on this. That's great too. Whatever you can do is what you can do, right? No one's going to ask you to do more. But we'll show you how to make whatever time you do have work for you, right? That's the secret. Making the time you do have work for you. So I hope that helped. I hope that it was, you got something out of that seeing the hard numbers, because I know seeing the hard black and white numbers really is what helped me make the connection that, hey, this is real and I could make this happen myself, which I did. Now it's your turn. So I'm super excited to welcome you guys on the team. Wink, wink, nod, nod, nudge, nudge, right? But tonight, I will be back tonight. Like I said, a little later this afternoon, Bree's going to come on for a Q&A. So if you have any questions whatsoever, make sure you post them. Ask your coach, whoever invited you, and we will make sure we answer those questions for you. And then later tonight, I am going to come on here and share 3 ways that you can get started. All right. So depending on where you're at now, there's 3 different ways that you can get started. And there's actual 3 different levels of coaching, 3 different levels of way to get started. And we'll talk a little bit more about that tonight because it is pretty straightforward. You know, we all tend to make things a little bit more. Sometimes up here in our head, we end up blowing things a little bit up more than they are. And it's really not, right? So like I said, coaching is about 3 things. You do your workout, you're a product of the product, you're showing that you're doing the program, getting your own results, you're sharing about it and talking about it, and you just say, hey, listen, this is working for me. I don't know about you, but why don't you come join me and check it out? That's it. That's what we do. Every day. That's it. And we'll show you how. So, like I said, hope to see you on the team. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We got a training coming up soon, so hopefully you're in there and we get you started. Super, super simple steps to get started. But we'll talk more about that tonight. All right. So again, in the meantime, if you have any questions, make sure you ask. I'm going to head back to work now. So you guys have a great afternoon. Bye now.